Fox 29 Live on Fox Local. So we have shown you reporters who are out and about in the heat with people who are jumping into the fountains that you're not supposed to be jumping into. They've got people with personal air conditioners around their neck. There are people walking around with umbrellas over their head. Chris O'Connell just explained that his hack for dealing with the weather is to convince our bosses to send him down the shore where it's 12 degrees cooler, and he's chilling out by the beach and all of the different locations where people are right about now starting to pursue happy hour for the weekend. But there are other things that you can do. There are other hacks. There are ways that we can do things, I guess, in a healthier manner than deciding to sit out and drink happy hour over the weekend. And Sam Tejada is going to tell us how. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. So I see Liquivida Lounge, but tell us first a little bit about you.
So I'm a health and wellness expert, and what we do is we focus on health and wellness, right? Keeping your body at what we call homeostasis balance for it to function as best as it can. So, obviously during these summer months, we got to make sure we're regulating our body temperature so we don't go through that heat exhaustion or even worse, a heat stroke.
So all of this, are there specific or kind of special techniques, or are there things that should be fairly obvious to us but we still don't do? Or is it a combination of both?
It is a combination of both. And listen, one of the things you said is happy hours coming up, right? So a lot of people start drinking alcohol during happy hour. Well, guess what that does? It dehydrates you. So you got to be very careful when you're out and about having some of those cocktails. So hydration is going to be extremely important, but it's not just hydration of water, but also the electrolytes, so your body can actually absorb that water and make sure that you have proper fluids in hydration inside of your body.
Okay, so rule number one, you may have just offended some of the people who are on their way to happy hour, especially in Philly. So if you're going to do that, one, probably not a great idea to be drinking outside when it's 100 degrees. And two, what? Make sure you're staying, moderation, make sure you're staying hydrated, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. And drink some water in between those cocktails, right? Make sure the rule of thumb is every adult should be drinking about 8 to 10 cups of water per day, right? To have good, proper hydration. Now, some of the things that people do also is put something like Celtic salt or Himalayan salt that has different minerals inside of the water, which helps hydration of the cells inside of the body. If you're having trouble hydrating by mouth drinking water, one of the things we offer at our wellness center at Liquivida is IV vitamin therapy, right? Where you get the hydration directly into the vein intravenously, where it goes straight into the cellular level, and you get instant hydration.
Okay, so the hydration is important. They can get to you. They can do it that way. Tell me a little bit more about the kind of do-it-yourself, do-it-at-home methods, because a lot of people will just go grab what they, I guess, think is hydration, these different really high-sugar drinks or so-called sports drinks or energy drinks. Like what are things that we need to be aware of, especially with these things that profess to be doing what you're talking about?
Yeah, so we want to go more on a healthy method. If you're going to go with something that's a little bit sweet, try to go a little bit more natural, like a coconut water, right? There's some very good organic coconut waters that are out there that are full of different electrolytes that help that hydration process. One of the things that I tell people is, how do you figure out if you're properly hydrated, right? So there's something that's called a skin turgor test. So skin turgor, you basically take your skin, you pinch it, and the skin is supposed to go ahead and go back flat instantly. Now, if you're dehydrated and you pinch your skin like this and it stays in that shape like this, right? That's probably the fact that you have severe dehydration at that point, especially with the elderly during these hot months. With the elderly, this is something that you should frequently check to see if they're hydrated. And if you see the skin stays like that, well, we got to do something about it, which hydration is going to be it.
So, but by the time you see that, that's a problem. Like by the time your skin is doing it, it's a problem. So the goal is don't do that test. Don't ever let yourself get to that point.
Yeah, you don't want to get to that point. Now, obviously, if you're out and about, you're outside, the kids are playing sports, little league, and there's a potential medical emergency where you see someone who's exhausted, they're going through that heat exhaustion. That's one of the tests to kind of figure out, well, okay, what's happening with this person? They might be dehydrated. Let's do the skin turgor test at that point.
Okay. Are there things that we should be looking for? Like, obviously, we can come see you and stay optimal and do the different things that you can provide at Liquivida Lounge, drinking the water, drinking the nutrients, all of those things. But are there things that we should be looking out for that people are in danger, in jeopardy, they need help?
So yeah, if you have elevated heart rate, profusely sweating, if you're not sweating and you're at that stage, that means you're severely dehydrated. That's borderline heat stroke. One of the things that helps regulate body temperature, it's what's called thermoregulation, right? Where basically you expose your body to extensive cold. You've probably heard of the cold plunge where people get into ice water, right?
I do that most
thing
mornings.
In the morning, it's great. Yeah. So that helps your body regulate itself to be able to withstand some of the severe heat that we're experiencing through these summer months.
So it sounds like a lot of the things that you're talking about are let's stay prepared, let's stay hydrated, let's make healthy decisions before we get to these positions of stress when you're trying to recover.
Yeah, listen, I always tell everyone, when seconds counts, be prepared, not scared. So you got to make sure you're doing things proactively, not reactively.
I like it. I'm sitting here pinching my hand, and for the most part, it's going all the way back. So I think I'm good now. Maybe I could use just a little bit of water. Any more tips you want to give people as we continue to battle with some of these hot days through next week?
You know, important to stay in shaded areas, wear light clothes, that's breathable clothes as well. You know, alongside with that, always keep in mind that heat rises. So, you know, if you're places that are in higher altitudes, like the second floor, and there's no air conditioning, it's probably going to be a lot more hot up there, right? So if you are in different areas, if you're traveling and you're up north and there's basements are typically going to be cooler, and that's going to be a good place to kind of hang out. If you're going to do any kind of strenuous exercise or any kind of strenuous activity, try to do it during the time of the day where it's not too hot outside. Do it either first thing in the morning or once the sun is going down.
Sounds good. I appreciate you taking the time. How do people find you to get more information on what you provide?
You can either Google me as Sam Tejada, or you can go to the company page Liquivida. That's LIQUIVIDA.com. And then you could also find me on Instagram, and that's Sammy, SAMMY_Tejada, TEJADA.
I appreciate you. I'm pinching my hand. I'm all good. I appreciate the tips. We're going to stay cool together. Thank you very much.
Let's do it.
All right. You take care.
Take care. Have a great weekend.
You too.